Hey, good evening, everyone. It's a little late and it's been a little while since I've done a stream, but I've been a little busy. So, working now on connecting up the the steel parts that connect the firewall to the fuselage. So, what's interesting about these is these are steel parts, and most of the plane is aluminum, and so I'm going to have to do some extra corrosion protection on these. But I end up, drilling a couple holes in this for clecoing, no, riveting onto the main, and then prepping a hole up here for a bolt to the fuselage, because the fuselage will be, sorry, the firewall will be bolted onto these pieces for a extra strength connection. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out on the chat. Hopefully, I see it a little better this time with some of the changes I've made. But I'm going to be working. It's a little dark right now because it's evening here, and the lights aren't really covering that well right now. But yeah, it's good enough, and I'm just here to chat anyway as I'm building the airplane. So hopefully somebody shows up. Otherwise, I'm just going to be busy building. So hit me up in chat if you show up.
What are you building, sir?
Hey.
Hey, you know what I'm asking? What are you building? Is it like a plane?
Yeah, it's an airplane.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it flies?
Well, not yet, but it will.
What's it run on?
Uh, Aviation fuel.
That's awesome.
So
That's,
yeah.
that's so cool, man.
Yep.
You seem like a smart guy. You're looking.
Oh, hey, sorry about that. Thank you for coming back. I got hit up by guys going around door to door selling solar, of course. So I'll be filing this away with the things that I'll have to think about later. In the meantime, back to the airplane. If you're at all interested in what's going on, hit me up in chat. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, so then we can say hey, and I can explain a little bit more about what I'm doing. Stream's live, by the way. Oh, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Uh, family was out, had to come back, and otherwise it was going to get real noisy. I'm going to throw a hey in chat if, in case anyone else can see it. Cool, that works. Not bad. So what I got going on now is I've got all of the holes on the first size. So I need to upsize all of those holes to the final size and then figure out, all right, how am I going to, uh, like what order am I going to uh, uh, rivet them and bolt them and all that, because that's going to be its own thing. We'll get that figured out as I keep going, but I could keep saying, drop it in chat if you're around. I'm keeping an eye on it. Ow! Hot. So apparently, when you drill metal, it gets really hot. My arm went with that just now. Ow. That's most of me building the airplane is running into something, saying ow, and then moving on again. That's a lot bigger than I thought. Boy, that makes me nervous if this is the right one. So I'm supposed to do an AN6 bolt. It says AN6 is 3/8 inch. That's really freaking big. I mean, this is the holes that I have been drilling. There you go. It gets a shadow. There you go. This is the hole that I'm about to drill. It makes me nervous because if this is wrong, I've completely destroyed the part. So I'm going to do some double checking because I need to trust this. I know it's right, but sheesh, if I get it wrong, that's bad. Real bad. See if I have any AN6. I have it in green. I have an AN6 hiding back here. I don't. I have anything else. That the AN6 is in the finishing kit. And the finishing kit, I'm not picking up until Friday or Saturday this week. And that is potentially problematic. Ah, that's an 8 and 5. But it's big. 8 and 5 is really big. So it makes me feel more comfortable that 8 and 6 really is this big. I know I've got 8 and 6s because they came, had to have come with a kit. So they're probably in my tool chest. And 3. And 5. So just for comparison's sake, this is an AN5, and this is the AN, well, what should be the AN6 drill. So we're getting pretty close. Yeah. I'm not helping you. I'm finding a lot of AN3s and AN5s. AN5, AN3. I think they're right things. AN3, AN3, 3, AN5, 5. I don't know what that is. That's the AN5 I just showed. That's AN5, A3, AN3. Well, nope. Well, I'm gonna do one more Google search, and then I'm gonna call it because I can't stand here searching my drill bits all day. Boy, that's so big. Makes me nervous. Let's see. This says, all right, Aircraft Spruce is where I go to buy pretty much all of my building supplies because they do this really well, and they have a warehouse not too far. So if I ever get something shipped, it's here a day, maybe 2. Um, this says an AN6. AN6, where are you? AN6 is 3/8 with a 24 threads per inch. I guess that's what the AN part is. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm reading it correctly because, shoot, I cannot afford to get this wrong. All right. High strength steel. No, that's talking about. All right. Bolts, specs. So the diameter Oh boy. And bolt selector. Set the diameter. Yeah, so AN3 is a size 10. And that's what this sucker is. This is a, no, okay, sorry. That's a 1032. And 4 is 1/4 inch. And 5 is 5/16. And 6 is 3/8. And this says 3/8. So I guess it's got to be it. Boy, that makes me so nervous. I can't stand around and talk about it all day. I gotta actually get some holes drilled. Ah, you know, at the same time, there is nothing saying that I have to drill this hole right now. I only have to drill it just before, never mind. This seems to disagree. It says lay out the hole, pre-drill with a 40 bit, which I've already done, expand the holes in Glico. Yep, there's nothing saying that I have to drill that hole right now. So I'm going to cheat and not do it. Because a hole not drilled is a hole I can drill another day. And there's nothing blocking me from accessing those holes. So there is no reason for me to worry about that right now. So what I can do is I can take off the firewall now. All the holes are drilled. I mean, every placing hole that I need is. And all these ones out here are already upsized. So what I can do now, I still have, the reason I need to take the firewall off is I still have 2 more holes I need to drill because I can't get there when the firewall is in place. I'll be able to get the bolt in, but I won't be able to get the firewall. I won't be able to get the drill in the firewall in there. So take which is what I started to do before. But if I do that now, you're going to have to finish those holes, finally move on to the next task. I've been sitting on this task here for 2 months. 2 months I haven't gotten anything, well, I've gotten some progress, and I haven't gotten anything well done. And shoot, I'm going down to pick up the wing kit, the finishing kit, and the fuel system kit, which is the last pieces I need for this airplane, or at least the body of the airplane. I'm going down on Friday to the Zenith Homecoming at their factory in Mexico, Missouri. And as of right now, I don't have a place to put the wing because I anticipated having the fuselage done before I went. And did not anticipate taking a 2-month break. I have some space set up over there that I'm currently storing the last flat pieces for the fuselage. You know, the piece that'll go over here. You know, a few more of the instrument panel pieces and all that. I don't know where I'm going to put this stuff whenever I get it back here on Saturday. So this may be a case of a emergency storage facility. I can't imagine what else I could do. There's just not enough space here with needing this and having everything else that's in this garage around. What's it? It is probably stuff on anything besides the fact that it's been kind of by the yeah. Oh, that's okay. I don't need to go any further than that. This is far enough. Not the safest position to be in, but it needs to be finished. Almost sort of always happen. So let's do the last. All right, I'm gonna hold there. So that's bad boy on. The other one. All right. So that was good. It's gonna get it. Brand just about learned the lessons in physics right there. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so some people are afraid of the word whoops. That just means I care about what I'm doing. All right. You're going to make mistakes. And so saying whoops just acknowledges that you aren't perfect. But drag my pants down. Let's get the second record placed. There we go. There we go. Okay, please on that bad boy back here. That's not necessarily the smartest thing I've done. Let me get this thing off of here still, because I'm ready to go to the hole. Brandon. It's okay. I'll just clean. I have a tired brain. And I'm practice with the airplane stuff. All right, just there it goes. Break that stickiness. There it goes. Got low. All right. So pieces are all in place. Good. There we go. Clean up all the things. Apply the corrosion protection. As we'll call it for the night because that corrosion protection can't put stuff together wet. That sucker, as you saw before, after this movie, and that was stuff that wasn't even wet. It was barely saturated at the time. But no, put them together and they glue themselves together quite strong as a rivet, but dang, it's strong enough to cause some deformation of that aluminum. You try to ow, more whip. Down here. Huh. Okay. That's same thing. Six would be six. Eight and six. Okay. Now, deep drilling holes, it's pretty easy with a tool like this. It's basically like a little drill bit right there. And I kind of spin that around in there. If I go too much, it'll end up what's called countersinking the hole, taking way too much material away. I want it to be flat. And so this sucker, give it a quick spin and it'll shave down any of the burrs that sit up over the hole. Whenever you drill, it leaves behind some of those burrs. Just clean that up. And, make it to where it's not pushing up against the other piece, which is one thing you can do. And the other side of it is it can just cut you, and that's good. It can also be a point of weakness too. Not some, metal sitting there. If you don't have clean holes, you've got potential for some future cracks. And, you just want to make sure these are all clean. So that way you get good mating between your surfaces and the rivets and bolts go in clean. A little harder when you read that. It does work out. I can't get I spin the thing all the way around. It'll just tight over here. I mean, I could take the step apart, but I really don't feel like it. And in counter sucking one of those, but not bad. And then down here, these holes that I just drilled. Even though the holes on the fuselage here were already in place, I'm going to give them a quick turn on the burr because I might have nicked an edge or something along the way. And these here are little separator plates that raise the steel up enough to where it's not floating over an open gap. So, feels nice and strong. It can take a few extra spins. Hole with that hole there. I mean, I really don't have to pay that much attention to this hole because it's going to get re-drilled again anyway. Because this is the one that's going to become the really honking big hole. I don't like the idea of a burr just sitting there that I haven't addressed in one way or another. So I might as well take care of it now before I can't. If it weren't for mosquitoes, I would absolutely love being out here all the time. I like keeping the door open, get some nice fresh air, and you know, don't get so stuffy in here and get a little extra. Doesn't feel quite as claustrophobic with the door open, even though I'm not anywhere near it. You know, this plane just takes up so much space, so it feels nice to have the door open. But dang, mosquitoes. They are relentless. You know, I was out here before I even started the stream, out here just like a couple of minutes, set some stuff up, and I already had plates. And that, I mean, this is nothing unusual. Mosquitoes have mosquitoed since they've existed, but it was just frustrating. Give me a chance at least. There we go. So now I just need to clean up the metal. And put on the corrosion protection. That'll be nice and easy. Add a little chip brush. Just throw them away after we use this stuff. Trying to wash it out. You're around here somewhere. Just like everything else. You're somewhere. Everyone gets to see me pull my shorts up. Hopefully I was off the edge of the camera there. Losing a little weight. Clothes. Really, those new clothes are a little, a smidge too big again. It's one of those situations of odd number sizes or half size and all that. Just never able to find them. I'd be much more comfortable if I had one fewer inch of waistband on these pants. Oh, mosquito. Coming in for a bite. It's all done. Over here this time. Comes out a bit like old white glue. Definitely dries like glue. But they say this is what it takes to keep the corrosion from building up on already corrosion resistant material, except for the steel. You know, the steel is the biggest problem here, but the aluminum that I work with is already corrosion resistant. So this is just an extra peace of mind kind of setup. Kind of a home stretch for tonight. And it doesn't hurt to apply this stuff liberally. The only downside is you know, it's technically a little bit extra weight. And you know, with airplanes, weight is sometimes the enemy, especially on little bitty planes like this. So it's important to minimize any extraneous weight, which I think I've done pretty well so far. Put on this, the coat's really thin. That way it's not too bad. And, get on all these surfaces. That it's sideways, hopefully it'll stand up. If that sucker glues itself flat, I'm in some real trouble. I have to learn how to get it to release without damaging the material underneath. There's the other downside. I ended up getting splashed on my shirts. My shirt, although it's water soluble, it doesn't wash out clean. It's quite annoying. I remember little bitty spots on my shirts that end up being kind of almost waterproof in it's weird. They don't all wash out. So that's kind of frustrating if that's really what's going to happen here. At least this time I saw him happen. I can at least wash it out. Now, for aluminum to aluminum contact, it's not really that big of a deal. With this particular aluminum, the aluminum that they chose is already corrosion resistant. Just the way it's made. Not all aluminum is that way. But when you're touching two different metals to each other, then they have different electrical potentials between them. And because of that, it can accelerate corrosion between them. And so it's important to have a barrier between two dissimilar materials to keep that from happening. Let's see. Where's this one? Oh, wrong side. In this case, the steel, steel is, it is corrosive because it's a ferrous material, so it can, oxidize pretty easily. Even if it is stainless steel, it still, has that potential. But when it's touching, it's accelerated potentially, and so eventually. And so this is a good idea to keep, to minimize that and extend the lifespan of the and its skin and all the components, because it's a it's important to protect the plane from corrosion, but what's even more important is protecting parts that you don't typically see from corrosion. Because I'll be, doing regular checks of the airplane and annual inspections and, pre-flight checks and whatnot. But, that pre-flight check isn't going to see every single bolt that's connecting the fuselage to the firewall. It's not going to see every piece everywhere. And so, it's important to make sure that the plane will have built-in. All right. Well, I've rambled just about as much as I can do today because I've got to let that stuff dry and figure out what my next steps are, which I think, if I remember correctly, is going to be joining that end to this end. And it's going to be fun, hopefully. So we'll see. If anyone shows up afterwards, thanks for coming by. And if I'm live, ever hop into chat, say hey. I'm more than happy to talk airplanes with anyone. So thanks for sticking around if you're here. Bye.